What's good, everybody? It's your boy El Dragon Amaru Khan and the Calm, and this is gonna be part three of my sequel of the Calm Focus. This is the focus part of it. Yeah, in part three, basically we're gonna dive back in on getting on focus and being aware and having self knowledge of what focus really is. My last video, I talked about how people were getting mistaking the idea of what concentration and focus was, and the idea was that if you focus really hard on something, or get on something really hard and stay on that task, it's focus and concentration, or really you just almost overdo it in kind of like a spastic way, when really you're supposed to just let it flow and it comes naturally, and that concentration and focus will just automatically tune in to what you're doing, and you'll just flow with it. I mean, some people say multitasking isn't good, but there's a certain way where you can focus and you can, begin to flow with that and just multitask easily. And I think a lot of people's beliefs too are mistaken. Instead of thinking you can't do something, you can. There's an ability you can. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a lot of this stuff is just it's a lie. A lot of it's a lie, but like the main thing I'm getting on is just, having the awareness of how to stay focused, when to stay focused, what to stay focused on. And truly, it's you and an honest opinion, not in a selfish outlet, but like how you feel. What focus you have on yourself to improve yourself at a daily rate, a daily push. It that determines a lot of how far you want to go. Now, if you're just catching on something new and you're not really sure what you need to focus on, you need to sit with yourself and ask yourself, like, what do you really want? And for me, I wanted financial freedom. So I'm taking the steps of focusing on where I'm having my financial issues at. And that was definitely dealing with a lot of, not say splurging, but just excessive spending, buying things and food. So now I watch what I eat. Now I don't go out as much or buy certain things. I don't need a lot. I'm more content of staying focused. Like I have everything I want, and the universe is always there to provide for me. There's an affirmation for you too. The universe will always provide for me. The universe is always there and will provide for me. That's just the biggest thing you have to know. Be content to what you have now, because you don't need a lot of the stuff that they show you, portray to you, or you think you need. It's just, I guess they're feeding your appetite, but you got to tune that appetite to something else. And I'm tuning it to self knowledge and self improvement and meditation and music. So I can do my part and help as many people as I can. If that's just giving them an idea, if that's just being a positive beacon of light, is that them listening to some music that I've made, and that's just like the vibe it put off. I'll be very grateful and thankful for that, which I am, which happens. So it's just trying to equalize on that and just enjoy your life. Focus on enjoying your life, because you're the only person that's going to be walking around in that avatar. Now, I'm not going to say that again, because we all know here on this channel, we all know we're living inside of a suit. This is not a construct of some amazing work by the universe, but it's just part of our being. You have to figure out what the light inside of you, when I say that, the light that's inside of you, the being that's inside of you, what do you need? Because want is, you can say want, but what is your focus? What is your being aware of? And that's where you come in to the whole meditation. I'm gonna get on that next. I think that's gonna be my next few videos, is meditation. We're gonna take a deep dive into that. A few minutes, another short, maybe 10, maybe a few minutes longer, because I have some meditation videos. I also do like meditation myself. The mindfulness technique I've come up with, 5 to 10 minutes. So it takes breath work in between, just being quiet. I may do that with the meditation, possibly. So yeah, have an idea what that is, because that's important, especially when it comes to focus, because you can be in mindfulness and be very focused on something. If you get what I'm saying. Hopefully, I'm not trying to steer too much off of what I'm really trying to get at. Yeah, and so like with that being said, here is a video I can give you. A video I made. It's also on my other YouTube channel. You can get it and watch it. Get it. I mean, you can watch it. You're gonna watch it right here in a little bit, and you can watch it on there too. Go support on that channel. It's a really dope little video I created. And let me read this as well. Something else. It says, this is by Jim M. Power. If you want to make your dreams come true, the first thing you have to do is wake up. J. M. Power couldn't have said it best. If you want to make your dreams come true, the first thing you have to do is wake up. And that waking up is basically waking up to the reality that you have to actually start living an alternative way of what you've been told. Basically that reprogramming the mindset, reprogramming the subconscious. That's the waking up part. Like, okay, maybe I need to take a step back and look at something else if this is not working. Or maybe you've added a highlight of your life and still not something working. Who knows? But yeah, check this video out. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, show support, man. Let's get it. Have gratitude, be abundance, peace, love. It's your boy ELdragon, Amaru Khan, and the calm. I'm out.
There is a principle called Wu Wei. Wu means non or not, no, negation. Wei has a combination of meanings. It can mean action, making, but the best translation I have found for it is forcing. And so Wu Wei is the principle of not forcing in anything that you do. Now we know when we watch any performance of an artist, be it a dancer or an actor or a musician, we know immediately when the performance is forced. And we say it doesn't ring true, it's too artificial, it doesn't seem to be natural. Many people who study the Taoist doctrines think that Wu Wei means do nothing, in the sense of laissez-faire, be lazy, always be passive. It doesn't mean that. There is a time for action. When you study judo, you use muscle only at the right moment. When your opponent is hopelessly overextended and off balance, and you add a little muscle to it and you throw him across the room. But only then. You never use muscle at the wrong moment. For as Shakespeare knew perfectly well, there is a tide in the affairs of men which, taken at its flood, leads on to fortune. And so Wu Wei is based on knowledge of the tide, the drift of things. Get with it. Wu Wei is the art of sailing rather than the art of rowing. So, one of the most famous sayings in the Lao Tzu book is superior virtue has no intention to be virtuous, and thus is virtue. Inferior virtue cannot let go of virtuosity, and thus is not virtue. So one could also say, the real wu-wei is not intentionally wu-wei, and so is wu-wei. But inferior wu-wei so tries to be wu-wei that it isn't. In other words, this is saying wu-wei is not a matter of cultivated passivity or even of cultivated spontaneity, because there are people who think that they are released, that they have realized that they are the Tao, as all of us in fact are, or that you are, to put it into Vedanta terms, every one of us is the Brahman, the eternal self of the universe, beyond all description or classification or thought. And say, okay, baby, I'm that. Now I'm going to have a ball. Well, what kind of a ball do they have? Well, what they do is they look up the rules on which society runs and do the opposite. Well, that's still running by the rules of society. And it's the mirror image in reverse. That's not spontaneity. You have to be able to realize that you don't know what you really want to do until you are very quiet. And it tells you. See, we are in heaven now because the earth is a spaceship and heaven is space. What is called in Chinese Kun, Japanese Ku, the void. That's what is important. Most of us don't know this. Space. It comes down to space always. Space, which nobody can define, nobody can imagine, appears to be nothing, is the foundation of the universe. But you have to become again as a child to see that. Now you go back to your childhood. What were the fascinating things? What's out there? What's beyond the stars? How long does it go on? And Mama said, it goes on always and always and always. The child wonders. He's excited. That this is something that never ends. And then the child asks about time. How long ago is long ago? Well, the Bible says that in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. Well, what did God do before he did that? Well, as one person said, he sat up thinking punishments in hell for people who ask silly questions. But still, that's only a joke. And the child thinks of God going back and back and back forever. Never begin. So in the same way, you think about death. Go to sleep and never wake up. Never. Why, it would be as if you never had existed. Not only you, but everything else. Which is, of course, the way things were before you were born. You know, how about waking up after having never gone to sleep? That's quite a thought. There's something fishy about it all. So we get a funny feeling when we think those questions really through. Very funny feeling. And children, you see, love to get into that funny feeling. Children do all kinds of weird things. They like to spin around as fast as possible, so they watch the suddenly the whole ground goes tilting. You do this thing, giddy with their eyes, and they go, and make faces and test out their bodies in all sorts of funny ways. Because they know from the beginning that the world is weird. A strange thing. Because everybody knows what it's all about, only they won't admit it. Being brought up is being taught not to admit it. But you know very well what's going on. But in order to find out once more as an adult, you have to become again as a child. So what does that involve? It means, ladies and gentlemen, would you please check your ideas and opinions at the door? First of all. all your philosophical and religious views, all your logic. Because I say check it at the door advisedly, because you can pick it up again when you go out if you feel unsafe without it. I'm not trying to argue you out of your opinions and views. I'm merely suggesting that for the sake of an experiment, you temporarily suspend them and view what is as if you didn't even know how to talk. Red is not red, blue is not blue. Hard is not hard, soft is not soft. Male is not male, female is not female. There is just this jazz. It will not be possible to compel yourselves into this way of looking at things, because what Buddhists call habit energy is going on. And as I talk to you, you will find yourselves thinking in a compulsive and habitual way. This is red, this is green, this is something, this is nothing, this is solid, this is space. All right, but treat those thoughts that are going on in your head in exactly the same way as if they were, see? That's all they are. Like shapes in the spray as the sea breaks on the rocks. Now, please don't get agitated that this is an anti-intellectual point of view, that this is undermining the value of logic and reason and so on. That we will bring all that back later when we need it. But just for the time being, let's simplify. Close your eyes. Listen. What do you really and truly, honestly hear?